So welcome, Kat. Thank you for joining
Thank
me
you.
today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
That's all right. So, I wanted to have a quick chat to so you can share your experience working with me. So, if we when did we start working together? It's a few months ago now, wasn't it?
It was last June. Yeah.
Oh, already actually that goes so quick, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Um, and what were your main concerns when you reached out to me?
So at the time, my son was nearly 2, and I'd gone through 3 rounds of IVF to have him, and I just hadn't felt myself since having him. So I felt like enough time had passed that normally, like when I had my first baby, I felt back to normal and everything was fine. I was still feeling very tired. My emotions were quite up and down. I was struggling to lose like the last bit of baby weight. And yeah, I just felt like I didn't feel quite right in my own body. And I went on holiday, and then I think I emailed you on the beach.
As you
Because I
do.
thought, yeah, I was doing, I was doing all the exercise, and I felt like I was eating fairly well, but I felt like there was just something that I was missing. So that's when I initially contacted you.
Hmm. And before we started working together, you had already done a lot of work on yourself, right? You remember?
Yeah, so I'd always used the body coach plan, Joe Wicks's body coach plan, which is lots of kind of HIIT and strength training and things like that, and um, meals made from scratch, but nothing's really off limits with that. There's lots of different types of food within it. And it always worked for me in the past, it always kept me feeling pretty good. But for this time around, I felt like I was eating fairly well, but there was something that perhaps I was missing that I wasn't doing.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I'd done a lot of I felt like I was doing a lot, which is what led to my frustration
Yeah,
because I couldn't see what I was doing wrong.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I remember, I think the first conversation we had, I suggested to hide your scales. Do you remember that
Yeah,
conversation?
yeah, yeah.
How did you feel about that?
Well, yeah, I'd always previously I'd always done that, and but I think I'd got into that habit of weighing myself every day. It was making me feel really stressed. It was making me feel really bad about myself. My body image and confidence had kind of plummeted, because although in some ways I looked the same as I did after having my first baby, I weighed more, and then that was just it became, you then take that measurement on the scales and then apply that to how you actually see yourself and feel about yourself. So when I didn't stopped using the scales, and I took the battery out, actually, so I didn't,
Okay.
because my husband still uses them and stuff. I said, if you want to weigh yourself, go and put the battery back.
Okay.
um, and I felt so much better, like kind of a week or so after, of just not having that daily weighing
Yeah.
and making myself feel terrible about myself.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Amazing. Amazing. So we then started working together. I give you some advice. We also went down the testing route. How did you feel about that?
Yeah, I was really excited to do the Dutch test because um, I wanted to see, because you'd said that you thought some of my issues may be from a hormone imbalance. So I was really excited to see if that were true and if I had really high cortisol levels and things like that.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I felt like that was a really good step to give me an overall view of my health, hormonal health.
Yes. And would you say that having those test results really gave you that extra push to really start, thinking about what your body really needed at the time?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And since then, when you told me about the kind of importance of B vitamins, isn't it? Yeah, and magnesium and things like that. After that I went to a chiropractor about my teeth grinding, and he then talked to me about B vitamins.
Okay.
And then whenever I've done anything else, any other kind of like fitness challenges or anything, and they've mentioned that, it's allowed me to feel like I'm on, I've listened to what you've said and I'm keeping on the same
Yeah.
track, because
Fantastic.
that I know that that's important for kind of my overall health. So
Great.
yeah, that was really enlightening, I'd say.
Great. Great. So how quickly did you start feeling different?
When I so my Dutch test showed a hormone imbalance, and when I started taking the supplements, the first thing I noticed, probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks in, is that I didn't feel as hungry all of the time.
Mhm.
Because that was one of the concerns I had, that even when I was kind of eating um 3 main meals and like a couple of snacks, I still was just feeling hungry and like unfulfilled and things. Um and yeah, so that was one of the first things I noticed, that I kind of felt a bit more level throughout the day. It was like 4 o'clock time, and I'd get that was my hardest time. Um, Making the kids food and that kind of thing, nick a chip and um, and then yeah, so that was one of the first things I noticed. And then a bit further along, maybe a few weeks later, was that one day my period came and I hadn't even thought about it. I hadn't had any PMT symptoms. I hadn't really had any like bloating. No, I still from time to time I get this, but like a few days before, just have a real like drop in mood, anxiety levels spike. And I found by taking the supplements, I felt a big difference um, when I was taking them every single day. So
Mhm.
um, yeah, that was a big difference.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. And did you feel, while working together, did you feel deprived in any way? Did I say to you, "Oh, don't need this or don't need that," or what, how did
No,
you on my approach?
I think your approach was very much, what can you add into your diet, because you said like what you're eating is good, and these are the things to add in. So like the legumes, and having lentils and chickpeas and those kind of things, which I wasn't eating enough of. And I've continued that. We're now like a year on, and I eat them more than ever now. Last night I had a lentil and mushroom hot pot with
Nice.
sweet potato. So I've yeah, I've definitely made those ingredients like a consistent thing in my diet, and that's been a massive change for me.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. Well, I was going to say the next question was going to be, what did you enjoy the most out of working with me?
I think it's just understanding, getting a kind of wider and more comprehensive view of how to benefit my health, rather than just thinking about weight loss
Mhm.
and fitness and things like that. And I didn't realize how important hormones were to everything. Um, so that's been a real eye opener for me, and maintaining my hormone levels and thinking about them and thinking how to balance them has been a massive difference. And
Mhm.
it's amazing how many, because I've told a few of my friends and mums and things, and a few of them have asked me, I'm feeling like I can't get rid of the last bit of baby weight, or my hormones are all over the place after having babies, and some have had IVF and things. So I've passed on a bit of my knowledge to them,
Great. I
because
love that.
I think so many women know that they're controlled by their hormones, but don't know how to
Yeah,
manage them.
yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's so nice to hear. That's really, I love it when the knowledge kind of spreads out and we can help more people to feel great. We just deserve to all feel amazing, don't we? Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think we need to be as much of a slave to hormones as we perhaps have done. So many women suffer so much, right from when they get their periods and then have babies. So I think when you know a few simple ways to improve that, can be really life changing.
Wonderful. Oh, amazing. And then we worked together and then you joined my little membership that I launched last year called the
Yeah,
Mindful Food Club.
yeah.
So how did you what are your thoughts around the membership? Did you enjoy it? What did you enjoy? And who do you think would benefit from such a membership?
I think your mindful food membership is really comprehensive. You get lots of information, so I think it's a great thing for someone to do who might be thinking about speaking to a nutritionist but doesn't want to fully commit perhaps to a full package, or is dipping their toe into it, or just wants to get some information, because I think the level of information you give is really good, and the recipes and things like that, and the community around it. So it's definitely for somebody who wants to get involved and be social and have that support. It's like having a coach, isn't it? Like a nutritional coach, and that one-to-one time with someone. So yeah, I think it's great for that.
Brilliant, excellent. Right. Well, did you want to add anything? And how, if you were to summarize your experience in like three words, what would it be? What would you say to someone brand new who's thinking about giving me a call and is a little bit worried? What would you say?
I'd say definitely give you a call, because you're very personable and down to earth, and you don't make anybody, you never made me feel shame about anything. I think people might be worried about things like, oh, she can ask me how much I weigh and what my BMI is, and there's none of that, which I thought was really nice, because there's no judgment. It's not like going to see a doctor where your health is measured by a
Numbers.
chart and numbers, which can be really shame-inducing for a lot of people. And it's definitely not what you wanted. It's not what I needed, and you didn't give me that, and I think that's really good. You came to my house because I'm local, which was lovely. And yeah, so 3 words, I'd say uplifting, empowering, and life-changing.
Amazing. Oh, thank you so much, Kat. That's wonderful. Brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing
Thank
that.
you. Thanks, Andrew.